Okay, so Jules, did you want to weigh in on just how, people are going to accept, receive the messaging for what she has done, or, and that's to say whether you find that on the positive or the negative
Mhm.
side, because I think that, especially talking about Black men, there are some issues with her previous employment and, being a prosecutor. So we do have to work through some of that. But just making just people remember what this bureaucratic process like looked like, and what decorum looked like,
Right.
and what a vision for a unified United States of America looked like. It literally is called the United States, and in our the other side is not giving us any united front. So go ahead.
No, no, it's not. So, as far as being a prosecutor, being the attorney general, that was her job, and she did it as well as she was supposed to do. And that's one of those double-edged swords. I think she's going to resonate well with the Republican, and I'm not talking about the Trump cult. And that's what I want to call that era. I mean, I'm from the Reaganomics, and never before have I ever seen what I've seen. I think that the Attorney General side of her will resonate with those who say they're tough on crimes. We want to do something with the criminals. And I think that aspect of knowing the law and being able to prosecute and support criminals who, not criminals, but support the Supreme Court justice when they're ruling in criminal cases. I think she's going to work well with them. I love the fact that she knows the law and she's so fierce with
Mhm.
it. I've never seen such power in her eyes. I just love looking at her talk, the way she speaks. She's so eloquent. I like the fact that she is nonpartisan in some stance because we have to be diplomatic, and she does have that. I do take offense when we hear 45 speak. I'm not a fan of calling people stupid, calling people dumb. And regardless, when you are the president of the United States, we have to work with both sides. And she does fit the bill as she always have to be nonpartisan, bipartisan. She has to work with both sides, and she's capable of doing it. She's truly capable of doing it. I see that she respects the law, and she's capable of respecting the law, keeping the law, and also being mindful of the people that is held underneath the law. And that's one thing I appreciate about her. That's something that I haven't seen with the previous administration prior to President Biden. So
Mhm, mhm.
that's what I have.
So
I'm hopeful for what
follow
that
up,
she can
Jules.
bring to us. Yeah.
So, because your day job, you guys have some initiatives that are focused specifically towards like college students. Let's talk about young people for a second,
Mhm.
because they came up earlier. Do you think the young people, and as older, younger, not really so young no more people, like this thing about the cancel culture is real, and so that was part of the issue with Biden. Like they were unsubscribed to the agenda. Do you think that Kamala can get the young people to rally around her and show up and show out like they have not in the past?
She does, and I don't want to say this word 'cause I'm afraid it's going to be catchy. She has that auntie mentality, you know, and that auntie mentality is that opportunity to speak to a way that your mother and your father can't speak to. And I think she can. She's old enough that you can talk to, and that's one thing I will appreciate about any of the BIPOC community. We look for that older person that we can respect. Someone our age is hard to respect, but you'll respect someone that's older in the community, that's been a few places, that know a few things, that learned a few things, and we have that from her. This is a single mother that had grew up in a community. She's that where she looks a little bit different from others. She went to Howard University. She's a Bison. She went to a HBCU. She understands the importance of having culture. She received culture. She joined a sorority. She understands the importance of being with sororities and fraternities and being a part of something greater than yourself. I think this woman can do that. I think she can reel it in. I think she can bring it back. I think with her, we can keep the momentum of democracy going. I think we can educate democracy with her. I think she has an opportunity to have honest, candidate conversations that could be to me, I look like it was more misogyny coming from the previous administration that we've seen. I love the fact that they're more respectful. I was a little bit deterred when I seen disrespect that was talking about the LGBT community, the disabilities of some Americans, our brother and sister that have disabilities. But I do see that she can bring it in. I'm hopeful she can bring it in.
I
Okay,
definitely
Linda, what you got?
she has the ability to galvanize a large sector of the young people, because I think that young people, Gen
Yes.
Zers, understand how critical this time is in the political climate, and they're feeling the consequences of these decisions more than anybody. I mean, boomers, I have Social Security, they are settled. Our Xers are, still in positions where they're kind of holding on to some things. So young people are willing and ready to turn out when they know it's time. And I think that we have to sell the message of the urgency. However, strategy wise, because we are in the last quarter of this campaign, we also can't be too focused on building brand new infrastructures and regimes around getting young people out. That she's
Right.
already been able to touch a large sector, but that is why we need to start dependent on our organizations. I saw the Divine Nine stepping up into leadership and putting out a letter today saying they're going to execute mass voter registration and mobilization operations. Good, because the Harris campaign don't have to focus on that. They can focus on convincing people to
Mhm.
make sure that they vote for her as the United States. Our grassroots organizations ran by Gen Zers and young people, they got to do the work to make sure they're turning out the vote of these young people. So it doesn't need to be the responsibility of Kamala Harris to turn out the young people. It's these grassroots and advocacy and community organizations. You need to take that on. Young elected officials like myself need to take on that responsibility. And then Kamala needs to worry about being the next president of the United States. But to address the cancel culture, we got to stop cancel culture on both sides, because I think it's doing more harm than good. It is to the point
Yes.
where people are so scared of being canceled that they aren't being real and authentic and true to themselves. To be honest, that's why you see the rise of Trump, is because of cancel culture. People are looking for someone who's not scared to say the thing that they care about, even though
Mhm.
it's the wrong thing. But we cannot how the guts of Trump and how that's played an impact on how people view his authenticity and his strength, because he is moving past cancel culture when we're being too scared of cancel culture and not standing 10 toes down on issues.